Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Johanna and welcome to my cozy book space. For today's video, we're going to be doing my Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarrow's reading vlog. In this video, I'm going to be rereading Fourth Wing, reading Iron Flame for the first time, reading the new release, the third installment of the series, Onyx Storm. I'm so excited. If you guys want to see my thoughts on this series so far, then go ahead and keep on watching. Before we dive into my Fourth Wing reread thoughts, let's do a little taste test of this new Olipop. This is Cherry Vanilla. Isn't she so cute? I wish I had my nails done so we could do a little bit of ASMR. Here we go. Okay, you know what I first thought of? My first impressions? It tastes like a perfume. Not gonna lie, but it's like, it's not bad, but it's giving perfume. Like, it's so subtle that it's not nasty. It's good. Wow, that's really good. I like that. I saw it at the store and I was like, I have not tried that one. And the packaging is so cute. She's pink. She's cute. It has a cherry on it. Love her. Okay, it's approved. Just go in cautious. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm on page 174. That's about 34% of the way in, I think, according to my Goodreads. And this is a reread. This is actually my OG copy that I first read and annotated. I actually have been hybrid reading this. I listened to the audiobook at work. I actually was originally filming a Fourth Wing reading vlog, and I'm pretty sure I still have the old footage of that. So while I'm editing this video, I'm going to go back and rewatch that and see if some of my opinions have changed. But I will say I'm loving it. I mean, my first read of Fourth Wing was a 4-star, spoiler alert, but this second time around, I'm loving it a bit more. I don't know why that is. Xaden is speaking to me and I like Violet, and I think I'm loving it more because I knew what I was going into. I knew what the writing was going to be like and what the setting was going to be like, and I think I'm just overall enjoying it a lot more on a reread than I did my first time reading it. We have Violet, who is our main female character. She had been training to be a scribe her whole life in this fantasy world, and a scribe is essentially a person who reads books and is more knowledge based. And then at the last minute, her mother, who is the general, forces her to actually go into the writer's quadrant. The writer's quadrant is basically where you go through these trials to become a dragon writer. This is a dragon writer book, which is what I am loving the most about this book. I remember this was what I loved the most when I first read it. This is what intrigued me to read this book in the first place, because it had to do with dragons. The way that the dragons are written, another favorite thing of mine. So we have Violet forced into being a writer, and she actually has a disability where her joints aren't normal like any other human being. I don't know what the condition is necessarily called. I don't think it's ever outright stated in the book. She does struggle with that, so she suffers through a lot of pain. But because she was studying to be a scribe, Violet is very, very smart. She is very knowledgeable. She might not have everything that she needs to be a writer, be the best in hand-to-hand combat, and be ready for war. I love seeing her, you know, kind of take this head on, you know, like she had no other choice. And I think she's very smart with the way that she is getting to the point to getting her dragon, if you will. At the beginning, when they have to do this first trial where they walk on this parapet, she meets Ryerson. I don't remember loving that man as much as I am loving that man now. We do meet him. He is actually the son of some bad people Violet's mom executed, and these children from these parents that were in a rebellion. Parents were executed and the children were sent into the writer's quadrant. This is not no fun academy thing, okay? People die every day. Violet goes into this already not the best to survive, but now she also has to deal with people in this same team or competition or school that don't like her as well and are trying to kill her. So it's very, very high stakes. I've just enjoyed so much just seeing her get to where she is now, seeing her character growth as well. I loved seeing the interactions between her and Xaden. I don't know if it's because it's the audiobook or if it's my reread, but but just the attractions just are hitting me more than they did the first time. I don't know, you guys, I'm just loving this more than I did the first time, and I think that's my biggest thought here so far. I did leave off on the part where she literally just had gotten chosen by her dragon. She got one of the most badass ones, of course. We're about to see her mother's reaction, people's reactions, and all of those things. And I will say I do like the side characters, especially Violet's like best friend at this moment in time, Rhiannon. So yeah, that's the part that I left off on. I definitely want to listen and read some more tonight before I go to bed. Also, I've been loving like looking into my book, because when I first read this, I read this physically, and I did go in and underline quotes and stuff. Like I annotated it, but I annotated it with pencil. I didn't know if I was going to love this. I just kind of never went back to re-annotate it and make it look pretty. But yeah, I'm loving it. And that is my 30% update. I will come back when I have something more to say. I guess another thing I can mention is because this is a reread, I have been picking up small things along the way that could be foreshadowing, especially for the ending of this first book, because we definitely do end on a cliffhanger. And I know that Iron Flame, which I have not read, which we'll be reading in this reading vlog as well, I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with that book. Some people love it and some people hate it. It's either or, and I think I'm going to love it, to be honest. A lot of people said that Iron Flame also ends on a massive cliffhanger, and I'm excited to see everything that Iron Flame provides, because I'm like remembering when I first read Fourth Ring and how it ended and how I wanted to know and keep going, and I just had to wait so long to get the new release that I never picked it up, and then when I had it, I never read it. But anyways, besides the point, I think that is my update for now. So let me shut up and stop rambling. Literally, I could sit here and talk forever. I haven't filmed or started a reading vlog in a while. I think this is gonna be my first reading vlog that I actually start in 2025. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And it's also like a fantasy, romantasy, if you will. I'm just so excited because I've been wanting to read more romance, fantasy in general. I'm just so happy. I'm having the best time, you guys. Like, truly, I'm having the best time, and I think that's why I am loving it a lot more than I thought I was going to upon a reread. So anyways, I'm gonna read some more. I'm not sure what I'm going to include in this reading vlog, to be honest, since I kind of want to make it more about like this series in general. But I'll take you guys along with me while I read all 3 books. I'm here with an update. I finished Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I am giving this 5 stars. I don't know what I was thinking the first time that I read this, but I was clearly not in my right mind, or I don't even know. But upon a reread, this was everything I wanted and more. This was everything that I wanted and more. Sorry, I gotta fix my camera because I don't even know what's happening. I was so consumed with reading this that I didn't really even do like an update. I mean, I guess I did update like at the 20% mark, 34 or whatever. After that, I was just reading, and I finished this last night at 2 in the morning. Did the TikTok ban have anything to do with it? Probably, because I was not on TikTok scrolling mindlessly and I was actually reading. And I did finish this on my Kindle. This series is on KU. It was so good. Their first kiss, electric to say the least. And then Violet trying to wait and see what her signet power was going to be. Everything that Zayden does for Violet. If you want an actions man, Zayden is your man, okay? He is definitely giving like not emotionally available or like scared to love, but he shows Violet that he loves her in his actions and his thoughtfulness. Oh, I ate this up. I really loved how Violet really took that step, that initiative with them being together. How she was like, well, I love this man, and why wouldn't I tell him that I love this man? Like, we could die tomorrow, you know? And it's true. People die a lot in this book. So it's very hard to like make connections with these characters. With that being said, the first spicy scene, the second one, yeah, it was good. It was so good. Zayden, he is He's top boyfriend. He just is. He really is. And then just like those vulnerable moments that they have with each other when like Violet goes to the parapet for Xaden because of the day of the celebration or whatever. It literally breaks my heart. That man is damaged. Okay. He is tortured and damaged and he feels like he doesn't deserve anything good. Anyways, fast forward. The ending, upon a reread, like you pick up and you remember every single detail because I mean, you rereading it. And like there were so many things that I just completely forgot that flew out of my mind from the first time I read it. And to be honest, you guys, I went back to see my fourth wing reading vlog that I originally had done. I think it was in whenever this book came out. Whoa. Literally like, whoa. I just remember being in such an unhappy place in my life at that time. Just seeing myself from forever ago was so sad, and trying to like find happiness in reading. I know this took a turn, but like it was so surreal for me. I feel like I didn't even listen to myself even talk about this book because I was just looking at those old clips and I was like, that's not even like who I am at this point. Like obviously that my thoughts and my reading taste and what I'm looking for and you know all of those things have changed, and I was just like, you know what, I had saved that video for why, don't know, maybe I was gonna look back on it and see what my thoughts were, but that doesn't even matter. That is past me who read this. It was so gratifying to delete that reading vlog, and I am done keeping old reading vlogs. Like if I'm gonna film something, I'm gonna love it, I'm gonna edit it, and I'm gonna post it. So anyways, besides the point, yeah, the ending, so many things happening. If you know, you know. A certain character pops up, crazy. I mean, you see it from a mile away. I mean, I picked up little things foreshadowing that moment, and then the character that dies, I forgot. I hella forgot. Like I knew that somebody was gonna die, but I forgot. That was just so heartbreaking. Like I felt the tears coming. I didn't cry, but I felt it. I was just like so heartbroken. And then with the dragon and that connection with the writer, it's so good. Totally understand Violet's feelings towards the end and why she was feeling the way that she was feeling, but I'm glad that, you know, she stuck to her moral ground. She stuck to who she is as a person. She stuck around, and then that whole scene was crazy. I didn't find it very frustrating that Violet couldn't aim her signet power, because I was like, if she was a little bit more advanced, then this would have gone so completely different. But obviously we need those things because in this, I'm guessing in the second book, that's where she learns to control that and to aim and be better at that. And of course she needs more character growth to happen if this is gonna be like what, a 5-book series, which mind you, I didn't even know. I thought Onyx Storm was gonna be the last one, but apparently not. And you know me, I don't like to read series unless they're finished because I hate having to wait for the next book because then I forget everything that happens. But anyways, we kind of leave in this place of shock, of course, in this cliffhanger where we meet the character that we meet. We are fresh off of this battle that they had to all of a sudden go into. So the ending was definitely cliffhangery. With that being said, this was a 5-star for me. I loved it. It's just so good. It really is. And the dragons, the setting, I mean, I truly have never read anything like it. So it's just a vibe. And if you get the vibes, you get the vibes. So enough about Fourth Wing. I dived into Iron Flame. I'm not that far in. I'm like 10% of the way in. I did not read that much, but like I'm getting the vibe of how this is gonna go. So I figured I could update a little bit. We're diving into Iron Flame. This is gonna be my first time reading it. I do have the black sprayed edges one. I am reading this on my phone / going to be reading it on my iPad, because I'm gonna use the little colors for it, that way I can see them. So basically I'm only 10% of the way in, and I am finding it a little bit frustrating already at this point, but we do have all of our main characters, Xaden and Violet, and their group going back to the academy, the school. I forgot what it's called. Despite what everything Violet learns at the end of Fourth Wing. With that being said, of course they have to go back because there are things in play, right? Violet is very heartbroken. She feels very betrayed because Xaden lied to her. He didn't lie to her. He never lied to her, but he definitely withheld some truths. And she wants complete and total honesty from him, which I understand. But like Xaden says, he cannot tell her every single thing. She needs to definitely protect her mind from those that want to get into her mind. It's been very, very dangerous for her to know everything, and she refuses to understand that. And there was a line here that Xaden was like, you're not the only one that can place boundaries in this relationship. I get to put put boundaries as well. And period. King. And Violet doesn't understand that, so I think I'm a little frustrated with that. But I mean, I guess I also understand because they have to have some sort of plot where the characters aren't immediately already together, because I feel like that would lose a lot of people from continuing the series. A lot of people hate seeing our couples happy. I'm not one of those people. I live when my characters are happy. If they're happy and there's other stuff going on, but they're happy in between that, girl, like, I'm happy. Like, what do you mean? I don't need them to be fighting and complaining and not together. Like, I want them to be together, and then we can continue with the plot and have like different things come up where they figure it out together, if you know what I mean. Besides the point, they're not together, but they're fighting this attraction. Zayden is definitely trying to win Violet's trust back, not only with her life but also with her heart. And Violet is going to be very stubborn. I already know that this is probably going to be a lot of back and forth between the two of them. I feel like I heard somebody say that, but I also feel like I already know that's going to happen, and that's going to be very frustrating. So hopefully it doesn't last too long. The other things happening in the book hopefully keep me entertained enough that I don't start to hate this book, if you will. But I'm also interested in the plot. I'm interested in seeing Violet navigates being back as a second year, and how she's gonna strengthen her powers, strengthen her bond between her dragons. There is also something that happens with Andarna, which is the golden dragon, and I'm excited to see how Taryn and Zayden's dragon, Sigel or something like that, girl, I don't even know, how they kind of deal with the separation, because we do have Zayden. He graduated and they put him on the front lines. Of course, they want to kill this man so bad. They are like commanded, there's a rule set that they are able only to see each other every week. No, every 2 weeks, and their dragons aren't even like supposed to be separated because they're mated dragons. So I'm excited to see how all of that plays out. I'm very much at the beginning, so I'm excited for what's to come. And so I will come back on here and update you guys when I am at least past the 20% mark, or when something like super interesting happens, or I want to tell you guys my thoughts. But yeah, that's my update. That's my review for Fourth Wing. That's my update for Iron Flame. Hi besties, I am back with a reading update. I did finish Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. What was this book? Literally, what was this book? I have a lot of thoughts, so let's get into them. I honestly can't remember what was the last thing I updated you guys about on Iron Flame. I did finish this through audio while I was at work. With that being said, I really thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it's because I'm really invested in the characters. I love Violet. I love all the side characters, Imogen, Riddick, Zayden. Zayden is literally carrying this series on his back. Okay. And so just having any moment with all of those characters, I love seeing Violet grow in her power. She is better at aiming. By the end of this book, she's better at it. She's still not very good at it, but she's getting there. Also the dragons also are carrying this book on their backs. I love Andarna. I love Taryn. We don't get a lot of Sigel, but I love the little snippets that we get of her. This book basically just has a lot of what the first book has, but it has this bigger foreboding because of the venom. We also have Violet having nightmares and kind of foreshadowing what the ending is. I will say, because I finished this book through audiobook while I was at work, I would have bawled my eyes out at the stone scene if I wasn't at work. I could literally feel myself, like I could literally feel my eyes tearing up while I was at work, and I was like, I am not about to cry at work right now. I'm not about to cry at work. Okay. So that scene literally killed me, tore my heart out, and threw it on the ground and stomped on it. And then that plot twist at the end, like, what was that? What was that? Literally, I was not expecting it whatsoever. I am shooketh. I am sad. I'm heartbroken. My poor baby. That whole scene where they finally look at each other, if you know, you know, and she realizes what had happened. And then we get Zayden's POV at the end of this. Just like in Fourth Wing, we only get Zayden's POV once, a chapter at the end of Fourth Wing and then a chapter at the end of Iron Flame. When we get his POV, it is so devastating, and we kind of get get to see like the ending battle and what happened with that. But I just think that not having Zayden's POV in any of these books, except towards the end, literally the bare minimum, is such a huge disservice to this book. This series could be a 6-star read if we had Zayden's POV, because how are we supposed to know what he was going through? And we're only supposed to know what he was going through in one chapter. Are you kidding? And then what he had to go through, we didn't know that he was having nightmares. Like, we didn't know everything that he was going through and everything that he had to like battle within himself and then outside forces. And he is this supposed king and all of the things that he had to sacrifice towards the end. And how are we going to just move on? How are we just going to move on from what happens to him at the end of this? How is this going to be fixed? And I'm just so sad. And again, I need Zayden's POV. I just need more of him. I need him. Point blank, period. I don't know if in Onyx Storm we get his POV. I highly doubt it. It is probably going to be like the first and the second book. We're only going to get like one chapter in his POV towards the end, which is going to be so tragic. With that being said, I'm going to be giving the second book 4.5 stars, but I'm going to round it up to a 5-star just because I still love this series. I love the characters. I love the plots. I love the dragons, and I love Zayden. So 5 stars for Zayden, 5 stars for the dragons. I'm excited to see what Onyx Storm has to offer. Where can we go from here? I've seen a lot of people's reactions. They either love it or they hate it, or they're literally sobbing, crying, throwing up. So I think I might just be in the crying, sobbing, throwing up part. With that being said, 4.5 stars for Iron Flame, rounded up to a 5-star. Insane. On to Onyx Storm, you guys. I'm scared. I'm excited. Mostly scared because I know this is going to end on another cliffhanger because this is a 5-book series. But we're just here for the ride, okay? We're just here for the ride, and I'm excited and nervous. I just truly do not know what to expect. I'm here with an Onyx Storm reading update. I'm on chapter 19. I don't know what percent that is. I thought I knew what that was, but I don't. I'm less than 50% of the way in because this is not even halfway. So I must be like 40, maybe in the high 30%. And I am listening to this on audiobook, and I am listening to this at work. I started it today. There's a lot of stuff that has happened, but like not much has happened, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot going on, but nothing, you know? Basically have Violet now on a journey to find Zayden a cure. And Zayden is basically trying to handle himself and what's happening to him. He's afraid to lose control with Violet, so their relationship is definitely rocky right now. But there has been a couple of moments that I have loved between the two of them. There's definitely a lot more like side characters, and there's just like the banter with the side characters and the friendships and stuff that I really enjoy. As for the plots, we basically have again Violet trying to find the cure and also trying to find more of Andarna's type of dragon. As for like the villain of the story at this very moment, besides the Venom, we have Dane's father, who was making like Violet and Zayden's life a living hell. Yeah, and basically that's kind of like all I have right now. I actually stopped at the part where they're actually going to travel to somewhere. I forgot what the name of the place is called, but they're traveling to this location because Violet ends up getting her father's like journal or something, and he tells her like, if you're reading this, like you need to go here and do this, blah 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 blah. And so that's the part that I ended up leaving off on. So I don't really have that much of an update. We still don't have Zayden's POV, but there are a couple of narrators here for this audiobook, so I know there's gonna be something in here with like male character voices. Oh, and like I guess that's something else that is significant is that we have found out that the Venom actually can have signets, and now there is this woman, a woman Venom, who has the same signet as Violet. Violet still cannot aim properly. She's getting better, but she's not 100%. So, third book, and she still can't aim. There have been like hand-to-hand combat like between everyone, and then there was a scene with Zayden and Violet, and there has been like trials and missions and things like that. So it's entertaining. There hasn't been a lull. There hasn't been a point where I'm like, come on now, like can we get this moving? I'm like still really really enjoying it, and I'm loving Zayden and Violet's relationship. I just kind of want more information regarding the plot, but I guess we'll definitely get, I'm not that far in, so we'll definitely hopefully get some more of that. I think I'm just gonna stop my update for now, and I will update when I have some more thoughts. As you can see, I will be flipping through the pages since I'm listening to this on audio. I will be flipping through the pages to find the artwork, and we did see one here of Taryn when they get stuck in that tornado. That was a crazy scene. But I haven't since I stopped flipping the pages at chapter 19, since that is where I'm at. There's only been that one drawing. So that is my update for now. I will talk to you guys, update you guys tomorrow when I listen to some more of my book. Hi friends, long time no talk, at least for me, not for you, but for me. But I'm here to let you guys know I did in fact finish Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the third book in the Imperium series. This was, I don't even know how to explain how I feel about this book. And I also can't remember what was the last thing I said about this book. First off, I was very intrigued at the beginning of this book simply for the fact that I wanted to see where Xaden's journey was going to go because of what happens at the end of Iron Flame. So we essentially start off with Violet basically looking for a cure, and also in Iron Flame we find out what kind of breed Andarna is. And so in this book we are looking for more of her kind because her kind is essential to putting up the wards to be able to fight back with the Venom. And then as for an additional villain, if you will, we have now this woman who is also a light wielder and going after Violet to join the Venom ranks. We have Xaden struggling with what he has become and how easy it is for him to take more power than he needs, and him fighting his control, and this also having an effect on his and Violet's relationship. So they go on this journey, they visit multiple places, and is looking very dire in the fact that they don't find answers easily, and each aisle produces like these new like trials, which I did find interesting and I did enjoy because it adds action to the plot. I will say I stopped reading this, I think from my last update I stopped reading it, and about like a week, maybe a week and a half passed where I just never had the urge to pick this back up. But I went back to work and I was like, you know what, I want to listen to something, let me finish this book, especially because I also wanted to finish this reading vlog. So it's not to say that I wasn't enjoying this book, but it definitely wasn't hooking me. It definitely wasn't a book that I was like, I need to pick this up immediately, like I need to listen to this. But it was something that I could put down and pick back up and read whenever I wanted. I will say that was not possible more so towards the ending of this book. It does end on a cliffhanger and I need the fourth book immediately. So yeah, I did feel that way about this book. But with that being said, I did give this book 4.5 stars and I am running it up to a 5. I think I just overall enjoy this book, this world. I'm attached to the characters. I'm in love with Xaden. That's my man. I'm in love with the dragons too. Like the dragons and Xaden are literally just driving this book for me, and I'm just what can I say? Like I love them. So I will be finishing this entire series. I will continue reading. I will most likely, well, I mean, if it all goes to shit, you know, I will most likely always give this 4 stars or higher because I love these characters. Let me point out some of the spots where I was just like, oh my god. So in one of these trials, someone dies. And that's not funny. It was painful, and I was listening to it at work, and I was like, no way. Like, no fucking way. I literally was like, that's so crazy. And the way that it happens is just like so crazy. And then what Violet has to do after the fact, I was like, oh, hell no. But like, you know, we gotta win this war, honey. Like, we can't. I literally was like, I can't. And like the pain it caused and what happened to the animal attached to this person, it was so sad, you guys. Like, and it's not like we saw this character often, but you still grew kind of an attachment to them. Anyways, that's not the point. That happened. And then the ending, when they are fighting against this other villain, this woman, and everything that happens with that, with Xaden, just the Mira thing, Violet's sister, that moment with the knife, I did not know that was gonna happen. And with Brennan, oh girl, I was fighting tears. I was fighting tears at work. Like I was so shook. And I think this series gets all of these high ratings and stuff because it makes you feel, you get attached to these characters. And I know, you know, this series is a love or hate series, but I think once you like read the first book, you get so attached to the characters that, you know, you feel their pain and you feel everything about them, and so you care for them. And I think that's why I love these books and I love the series, and I know that, and that's probably why people love this series as well. Yeah, the whole mirror thing, I was shook. I was shook. You know, Violet is still a little bit embarrassing because she hasn't worked on her lightning strike, but you know, she's getting better. She's growing. Also, when we do find these other species, because we do find them, just learning about them a little bit and, you know, how hurt Andarna was with everything that happened with that. And then the fact that Andarna had to make a decision and how painful that was for Violet. I think like those type of dragons, like the Irid, are like kind of like the scribes of the dragons. That's the vibe that they were giving. But anyways, besides the point, I think the last thing that I'm going to say is that what the fuck was that ending? Like, I get what Rebecca was doing, and the fact that Violet doesn't remember and she chose that, like she knew, but she wakes up married. Stop. And like, what's happening with Zayden? What's happening with him? Because he wasn't cured. There's no cure. So what's happening? And like the fact that Violet literally chose to forget. Girl, I will be picking up the fourth book immediately when it comes out. I think the only thing that made this book not be a 5-star for me again would be that we didn't get Zayden's POV. I think if we got Zayden's POV, I think this series would be just 6 stars all around, to be honest, because we have so much of him that we still need to learn and find out about. But everything is in Violet's POV, so we just don't get that. And then I was kind of salty that we got other people's POV. Like we got Rhiannon's and we got Imogen, and then we have Zayden. Obviously, we get only one chapter in his POV. I just feel like, what was the point of both of those other characters having POVs? We should have just gotten a lot more of Zayden's POV. Yeah, so I think that's my only issue, and that's why I'm like stuck in the 4.5 star, because I just feel like we're missing so much, and maybe we're missing so much for a reason, and that's because it's gonna be in the next book. But I said the same thing about Iron Flame, so I don't know. 4.5 stars. I loved it. I loved filming this reading vlog of me reading Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. Once the rest of the series comes out, I will definitely be doing like another reading vlog where I read the next books in the series. I can't believe I finished this entire series. Like, I'm caught up. That's one of the greatest feelings. Okay, friends, now that you have made it to the end of this Fourth Wing reading vlog, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of the Fourth Wing special edition. This is done by Lilac Libraries. This is what the edition is going to look like. This is not your edition. This is mine, but I figured I would show you guys. She's absolutely stunning, beautiful. She comes with sprayed edges as well, top and bottom. She has some artwork on the inside. It does come with a bookmark. And yeah, I decided to pull down my copy to show you guys what your copy may look like. I have had an extra copy of this Fourth Wing special edition since I got mine. And I have literally been waiting forever, it seems like, to make a Fourth Wing reading vlog. You guys know that I had previously filmed my OG first time reading Fourth Wing, and then I ended up scrapping that video. So with this one being the one that is actually going to go live on YouTube, of course, since you guys are watching this right now, I am finally able to do this giveaway for you guys, and it's gonna be a very special one just because I also did reach 1K subscribers. So a big shout out to you guys, and I definitely want to do this giveaway and just have one of you guys win this really pretty stunning edition. With that being said, I think the only rules for this giveaway, I will also leave them down below in the description box, will be to obviously be subscribed to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram because I think I'm going to be messaging the winner on Instagram. So definitely make sure you are following me on there and I am able to send you a DM. So first one, be subscribed to my YouTube channel. Second one, follow me on Instagram since that is the form that I will be contacting you. And third, comment down below the emoji chosen for this video and let me know in your comment what is your favorite book of the series so far. And I believe those are all of the rules. Very simple, very easy. And yeah, you guys, I'm super excited. I love giving gifts and I hope you guys are excited to receive this stunning, beautiful edition. Yours is literally gonna come in the original box. Like literally, I've had this since I got mine. Like literally, this has traveled apartments with me because this has been the idea since I got this extra copy. So I'm so excited to actually rehome this and hopefully as somebody who loves this series as much as I do wins this. And that is going to be it for this Fourth Wing reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to let me know that you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and comment a dagger emoji down below in the comments. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and being part of this community that I love so much. I love you guys. I hope you guys have the best day and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.